Good afternoon. This is another episode of the CCC, Grown Folks Talking. And tonight our esteemed colleague will be bringing the title and the topic for the evening. So I will not delay you any longer from experiencing such a wonderful treat this evening. So, Brother Gardner, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, yeah, I had muted myself for a minute trying to hit one of these inhalers so I don't be barking all night. Oh, crap. Oh, hold on a second. All right. This topic today is I want to say I struggled with it over the years. Not the topic itself. But the doing things the right way and sticking to them. So when I'm not working, if I don't have anything going on on a Sunday, I started going to church. I've been inconsistent because, one week I'm out of town, but the week I was out of town, I actually went to church. It was at a church in Lake Charles. We had our little Masonic Lodge turnout there at that church. I can't remember the church, but it was huge. And that message was don't be let me see how I said, don't be hearers. Don't be hearers. Be doers of the word. There's certain sermons that sit with me, and I have one, and every time I go back, I call it my hometown. The little pastor over, because our one family go, they split between a couple different churches, but you go to one church service, you got that one preacher. He puts it on. He does. I don't want to say put on a show, but I feel the Spirit hit them. They do a good job. Now, this was back in 2011, and his sermon was about your soul being anchored. I'll never forget my wife standing up in the church. Everybody else stood up, whatever, you're a visitor, whatever. She stood up. She said, my name is Everett Gardner. They threw a birthday party for me last night, and we got down. In the church, that she told the church. So I said, she spoke the truth. We did what we did. And she wasn't really a person that went to the Baptist church, she was a Catholic, didn't really go. But my cousin brought that back up at her funeral here. Said when she did that, and kind of looked at the look on my face. And I went back to another service in that same city and told that pastor, I remember that sermon about is your soul anchored. So that's two that stick with me. And then the one, I didn't go to church Easter Sunday because I didn't go the week before. I'm not going to be one of them CME Christian, Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter. They show up. I said, I'll show up next Sunday. But they showed up. They had a sermon, and it's almost like a Bernie Mac thing. It said, who you with? Do you know who you with? And it's all about faith. So I used to been straddling the fence. I'm still tiptoeing, but I think I'm more on one side than I used to be. And I'm going to tell you why. There was two things about two great stories of faith that come to mind. I said, if you can't believe after these two events, you might need to check yourself. But the one, like I said, the sermon after Easter, it was about the miracles of Jesus, and it was when they were out on the water, and the ship was being tossed, and the water was high, and the apostles, whoever, the cats on top, they ran down to the bottom of the ship. When they come to the bottom of the ship, they found Jesus asleep in the bottom of the ship on a pillow. And they woke him up. And they asked him, you don't care if we die, if we perish? He said, do you know who you with? So he went up on top. And with all that power that he had in his hand, he made the winds and the waves be still. So everything calmed back down. And I guess they're thinking, what kind of man is this? We should have known already because we've seen the miracles before. And my second one, and I'm going to get off mine, and it's like I say, all by faith. I was laying up in bed one Sunday and was still recovering from my little recent setback. And just having TV come on 6 o'clock in the morning. There's a white fellow standing. You know, you're going to understand everything he says. He's going to make it plain. So he made it extremely plain about how Daniel had got forced to go to the lion's den because he wouldn't pray to the same to the king. Daniel let him know, I got my own God I pray to. Not only did he pray to his God, he did it visibly and loud where they could hear him 3 times a day in the wonder. He let them see. So there they go. They threw him in the lion's den. Kept his faith. You know, they show cute little pictures of lions grinning in behind him. They ain't ready to touch him. So I said, I take those 2 things lately and kind of been pushing them to be examples of how I should probably. I said, you know, we got somebody like that in our corner while I'm tossing and turning every night. Go to sleep. Lay down and go to sleep because there ain't nothing you can do. But a lot of things, you know, that a lot of things just ain't going to fix themselves, but you can help yourself. And like I said, that's what was kind of on my mind today because I really didn't really prepare a prepared topic, but I figured I could get some some feedback from this one right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll open up the floor, or if you have any questions. Hello. Okay, somebody else there.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sinking in because I'm thinking. I would imagine I'm not the only one on the line.
No, it sounds like wasn't nobody on that for a minute. It might have been a shock, thinking that a message like that or something like that come from me. I hope
we
tomorrow
on here,
is a better day. Say again?
We're on here.
Yeah.
But he just went deep, real deep, quick.
Was that a what can I say? That wasn't too broad of a subject, or
No.
I wouldn't. A lot of people now to get to the point where you can't talk about that offends certain people. Well, I ain't gonna say anything that offends anyone. If I do, I will apologize and give you the right to either stay on or say la vie. Simple as that.
Nah, you spoke the truth, man.
Yeah.
You spoke the truth. That's what the platform's for. You spoke the truth. That's what the platform's for. So I don't think there's nothing like that. Everything's
no, yeah, but it's true, and it's like I say, it's according to me. I'm not saying that all of a sudden I have changed, but I have, because when you move certain things out of your life that was one time just a regular part of your daily routine, and you don't crave those things no more, and you start looking at life a little, you look at life a little different, and it makes a difference in your thinking. Dang sure if you were spending a lot of money on one thing, your pockets will be saved as well. You save a little money, but yeah, that was just like I said. That's what I toyed with most of the day.
Right.
I kind of had and like I said, I also want to see what kind of feedback would come from that, because I know we have some spiritual people on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. I just started getting the group text back today. That now I'm getting under the name like you. I'm about to rename it, and so I can see it once. Like I say, I can start forwarding it to y'all.
Okay.
For the different shows, that happen during the week. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because now, as far as the topic and stuff goes, I was always taught as you get older, you know, so when you know better, you do better. And that's kind of how I roll with a lot of today's stuff. As a kid, you didn't know, so you couldn't do, but as an adult, you know. So you should do better. And I'll be the first to say I don't do all that I should.
I was just about to join in and say, hey, I've been adult and still know better and do some crazy stuff anyway. But one thing about me, I'm on up to my shortcoming. I ain't gonna blame nobody else. So oh man, that could have that joker trying. If I know I jacked it up, it's all on my back. It's all on my back. That's how
and that's how it should be with us all. But everybody don't take that approach,
right?
Because you still got people out there who feel like they always right, they do no wrong, and you got people out there that treat them that way.
Yeah.
Like the only opinion they got is theirs, and it's whatever it is. And I don't know. You know, that kind of sticks in my craw, like old folks say. Because if the only opinion you got is yours and you always figure you right about everything, it makes me wonder exactly what are you really right about. And if anybody is scared to tell you different, or even scared to tell you you're wrong, you know, if they tell you wrong, what are the consequences?
See, I'm not gonna call no name, but like I said, Friday night, I wasted an hour and a half listening to some crap. The person, it was probably legit to them, and it could have been legit. I say, but I ain't trying to hear that right now. Let's talk about that some other time. When I hadn't had none to drink. So let's talk about it some other time. Right now, I'm in a bad way. I need to go home, get some meds. But like I said, the longer we sit, I took time to get from the club. The longer we sit in the parking lot talking, I'm trying to leave to go home. Everything was just bubbling up in my stomach. I probably could have made it home. And took care of everything. I'm still cleaning up crap from Friday night. That's how bad it was. And I was like, man, when it's over, it's over. And then I'll start getting up. And like I said, Henry helped me do some stuff today. But, what a difference a few minutes make. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And when I said, bro, man, it's we at your house. Let's go. Why don't you go? I'm not really putting you out, but I need to go home. Come on in. No, I'm not coming in. I don't need to be over here at 2:00 in the morning. Because if I throw up in your living room, I'm gonna have to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that. And I didn't know I was gonna throw up till I took off, get down the street. And you know how all of a sudden, man, it just come up on you. I had to stop the car, open the door, but I said, man, you totally disrespected me. But they didn't see it that way. They called me a couple times, wanted to check on me, but I said, I ain't answering the phone. I get with them when I get out and get some sunshine. Go holler, everything be all right. Everything cool. I ain't mad. I don't get mad. I move on. You see me, I'm the same cat the next day. Moving right along. You shook back. Yes, sir. That's what I do. I shake back. I don't rush myself. Take my time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I get what you're saying when you say you totally disrespected me, because if I'm telling you I'm ready to go, guess what? This is how you got here.
Yeah,
but you say I was wrong if I just left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say I was wrong if I just left you.
Even if I left you, somebody was gonna get you home. Somebody took you. And so I gotta go in 2 or 3 times. And that was just like I said, if you was in your car, and you had something to do, and I didn't want. I said, I'm gonna be courteous if I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, and hey, let's go. So, like I said, it is what it is. Like I said, the same thing the week before up there with Henry, the same thing. But and I said, you can have. I mean, the place for the atmosphere is there. The atmosphere is there. It got some tweaking that need to be done.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's decent. You can't run your regulars out, but you got to make it conducive. Got to make it conducive where everybody comfortable coming up in there.
And see, that's the part that we're working on Friday nights. Is making it comfortable for all that walk through or walk in.
You know who that brother is that was in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's about to be okay, got a brigade getting ready to deploy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's right now, he works over there where I work. I work in the operations group. There's a guy same rank as him, which they call a commander operations group. He's the man next in charge. What they're getting ready to do is this brigade is getting ready to go, but all the people that don't go, he will be the 3rd Brigade, 10 Mountain Division, that commander of that brigade. So somebody said, he'll fall on the ops group. I said, no, he does not. He fall on the 10 Mountain. His boss is in New York. He don't have to answer to none of these clowns down here. He just he pay rent. But they got a 3-star, a 2-star up there. It trumps the 1-star here. Yeah. But, they play nice. You play nice. I ain't going to come to your house because I rank you and show out because I can put you out. But if you treat me bad, I cut some of your funds too. Because my brigade helps fund and it works both ways. And like I said, I just had always seen him and talked to him. But I like to see a brother that's down to earth. He don't let his position. He let that boy the other day. We sitting there talking, and they say, he used some words, that we use on the street. I wasn't always in the army, And that's what, because I know it, man, if I didn't know any better, I have a cousin, man, they're a spitting image of one another. Look just alike. And I think somewhere down the line, they missed each other. They didn't know. They don't know yet. But like I say, he's very down there, and with the position that he's going to take in another year or so, if all goes well, he'll put on a star.
Right.
Or he'll come back and be that position up there in the building I work in. He'll be in charge. Or he'll come back, once he does that, then he's destined to go ahead and get a star. Because they keep everything in there like a little round robin.
Right.
So, didn't mean to get off the subject. I know, do we have any of our East Coast family on the line tonight?
No, I ain't heard nobody.
Yeah, there was a few things going on today. But they all happened prior to us. But like I said, I came in there, look at what little game show I look at. I was knocked out to like 8:30, 8:28.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. I know, because I started messing with that popcorn machine about 7:45. And by the time I got it all back together, I tested it out for a hot minute. I didn't cook anything in it tonight, but we'll be doing that tomorrow. Once we get it up there and get it set up, put in place, because like I told him, I said, we got the popcorn, we might as well make use of it and do what we was going to do with it initially, sell it. So the only thing this is now we don't have to worry with anybody about having a popcorn machine because we have our own. And as time moves on, we will acquire other things that we would need when we do stuff. Because being on the endeavor that I'm on now, I am seeing it is more beneficial to have your own stuff where you ain't got to ask nobody about nothing. And it don't matter what they got because you know what you got. So, yeah. But, you know, like you said, Everett, I don't mean to get off topic. So we sure got a lot of blank airtime. This would get you kicked off the radio.
Good night, brothers. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Good night. There's not
Hello.
a lot of dead air. Good night. How is everyone?
We're fine, and how are you?
I'm all right. I have a lot of dead air. So I'm
Yeah, we have a lot.
But I have a question or a query. So Brother Gardner came on and talking, and I thought he was giving a testimony. So I have a question about what really is the question of the night, or the topic of the night. Is it about church or the people in the church? I really didn't understand what it was. So if you could enlighten me about what exactly the topic is.
Everett?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Everett.
Yeah, I'm muted myself. I'm back.
Yeah. She wants you to enlighten her.
Yeah. So, did you hear the introduction, or did you come in on the middle? Or?
I think I heard the introduction when he came on. But I heard him saying that he went to the church and his wife got up and said something.
Oh, yeah, she did that. But like I said, but at the same time, that was one of those. Prior to that, the sermon that the pastor gave was one that stuck with me, and that was is your soul anchored? And like I said, and I said every time I see this minister, when I go back to the little hometown, I let him know that one still sticks with me. And I went to a church about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and the sermon was, the preachers have a funny way of, they get busy when they got guests. But this one here, his sermon was, top main subject was be doers of the word, not only hearers.
Uh-huh.
That one stuck with me because I've done a lot of reading the Bible, but I haven't started to take it, try to do something with it. And then, like I said, I went to church Sunday after Easter, and just give a little faith on the boat. When the storm was raging and Jesus was in the bottom of the ship sleeping, the disciples wake him up and say, "You don't care if we die?" And he was just kind of like, do you know who you with? So I'm looking at those, I'm applying all these situations to my life where I said, I have straddled the fence for a long time, and I am completely crossed over, but I'm more on one side than I am on the side I used to be on. And that's where, I kind of want to see where people would, where the audience tonight would take that. And that was just kind of my experience. Because I'm trying to take things to a new level, knowing it's not going to happen. Excuse me. Not going to happen overnight. But, yeah, so that's where we are right now.
Okay.
If that clears,
thank you. Yeah, it's much clearer that I guess you're just asking for audience participation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, okay. So my other question to you is that, is it difficult for you to stay on the side that you think is the right side?
Good question, and now, no, because, can I say, like I say, maybe this last little setback I had a couple months ago, all my, major organs failed. And, when I went to my doctor, she's like, "You drink a lot of alcohol?" I say, "Well, I'm known to put a few away, but I wouldn't consider myself just like everyday drinker." But I
try your call again. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, someone said try to call again.
The number you have dialed is not in service. Please check the number and try your call again. Thank you.
So again, you're getting into the word and reading the word, or it's so many things here to sort of stay on the side and to be positive about what you're trying to do. Sometimes you have to drop a lot of friends and drop a lot of your usual habits.
To put things in perspective, a friend of mine, he got off into this, started doing the right thing. I'll just say started attending services, doing things, working in the church, but kind of struggle with it. Me, I'm having no issue staying on the right side. It's a lot easier now than it has been, because, like I say, when things are removed from your life, from one way or the other, and you don't crave certain things, like it used to be every Thursday. I used to have to run down to this one spot. They had a little 2-for-1 specials and a little crowd. I said, I'll still go to that place. I might drink a 7-Up, listen to a couple of things on the jukebox, and head home. But like I said, it is a lot easier for me now than it was, I won't even say 2 or 3 months ago. I'll just say in the past. And like I said, the church that I have been attending, I haven't become a member yet, but they're doing some things in the community. Want to. They did all the upgrades. You can see they remodeled the whole church by themselves. They might have had, pay a guy to come in, but most of the members, like they got a thing going Saturday. I'm going to have a little conflict, but I'm going to drop by. It's going to be close to where we're having a car wash. But excuse me.
Do you have water?
It may be bad. But they're having a little spring cleanup. And I'm sure most of the men, they just said all men on deck, cleaning up, get some old stuff out, spring cleaning. And that's what I need to start doing in my own house. But got to get a little more strength. But that's where I am right now.
Oh, thank God for that. Because I know it's a hard road to stay on that track. You might start out strong, and there's sometimes those little things might get in your way, and you just flip over. So it's commendable that you are trying to stay on.
Yeah.
Or is it because of health, as I said, they had health issues, maybe you might find more, respite in that. And, for me, in fact, church is a spiritual thing, like the place to go, you sort of have to feel connected to it. It's not just going to any church and to somebody or somebody said something that resonated with your soul. So once you find a place that you want to go and a minister that could say something to stick in your heart, I think it's a good thing. So I'm going to pray for you that you stay and try your best, or maybe harder, to stay on there, and hopefully everything will come together. Because yes, you did say, doers of the word are not hearers of the word. So you have to spend time at home, going through your Bible, or if it's on the phone, or if it's on the computer. I do it in the audio. So it's a little easier. You could just lie and listen to it, or listen to little meditative scriptures. But years ago, when I was much younger, I went to church, and one of the things the minister had said it was to anybody who was new, but mainly to men, making it easier for them, is to start in Proverbs. It's 31 chapters and read a chapter a day, and they will supposedly get something from there to make it easier and a little more enticing than some of the scriptures which are very rigid and sort of frightening. Read things that are easier and then go from there. So good luck. Take your brothers with you who are listening and who live in your same city with you to church too. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate that.
This is like the grown folks tonight is like in church. It's very quiet.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. A few come in, and I know we got some spiritual people on the line that probably say something that's what's going on with you. If you want to share, you do. If not, we get it.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Grown Folks maybe in the last month, and tonight I said I would come on, and I started off with the earlier show, and it wasn't, sometimes the show takes a different turn from what the topic is, so I like to hear what the topic is about, but I haven't been there for the last, maybe the beginning of Lent until now.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe it was a move, a spirit move that I came on tonight. But it's very quiet. That's what I don't think. It's very, very quiet.
Yeah, a bit unusual.
Good evening. How is everyone?
All right.
We're good.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm just joining, and I'm glad to hear Beverly. Hi, Beverly! So,
I just say I haven't been on in a while.
I know, and I haven't heard your voice. But, gentlemen, CCC, how is everybody?
We're good.
Great.
Let's think about it. Angela and Ayani, are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. What's the topic? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. So, what's the topic?
Everybody wants to know.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, like I said, I have an issue talking and coughing every 2 minutes. I'm going to see if somebody else can just take the topic that the subject that I put it in a little synopsis and give you the topic, and you maybe can expound on it. If not, I'll chime in and help. Brother Hamp been paying attention. Everybody been paying attention. Nobody back and said it when they had a lot of feedback.
I think Beverly gave probably the most feedback.
Are y'all afraid?
Wait. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Beverly.
Y'all are passing this around the table so cutely.
No, I was just going to tell you about it. It's basically about his changing his life after going to services in church. The word got to him, and he changed a lot of things and doing, a better job of what he was doing. I shouldn't say a better job, but he's doing a different job, spiritually, basically is what it was about. But the air is so bad tonight, that was my thing. It was like nobody is there, nobody's saying anything. So I may have talked a long time and cut people off, I don't know. But there was nobody answering to anything. And I really wanted to know what was the question. So that's how I basically came on. That was the subject. Yeah. Because I haven't been on, because, like a lot of things, like the shows and the topics and the talking and the callers. So sometimes I took a vacation.
Take it down again.
See,
go ahead.
To me, I was just about to say, because to me it sounds like one of the things I've always heard growing up, and the phrase is being a good steward. It's basically what I feel as he was talking about, is being a good steward, being able to choose between what's right, what's not, and being able to stay on the right path. I mean, it's a chore for us all, because none of us are perfect. But, even with that being said, as adults, we know when we're sliding off. And some of us choose to slide off because it's just things we want to do, things we want to try. And I don't fault anybody for that, because I contribute to that, being human. But when you do those things, you know how you got to get back to where you are. or at least get back to where you're trying to be. And that's where I feel like a lot of us fall short at, because we give up. You know, we don't push as hard as we would for the worldly things with the spiritual things. You know, because like I said before, I know me, I could do better. You know, and it's a journey. It's a journey for it. Like I said, it's a journey. You know, and I'm on that road like everybody else. So, you know, I was raised in the church. I don't attend church like I know I should, but I do attend. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you I'm a Bible scholar, but I know what the Bible says. And I try to do that day to day.
So, may I comment?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
May I comment?
Go ahead.
Being a good stewardess, I am perfectly who I'm supposed to be. I'll speak for me. And falling short, I would say, is a process of life. Because life should always bring a different something to us. Other than that, it would be pretty monotonous, right? And how you handle it then proves who you are, why you are, because you are, and what you know, how you know it. And as long as we're here and not deliberately out to hurt anyone, as long as we're here, we're still in that process of learning. The Bible was written so long ago that, well, we would be Rapunzel times 19 million with hair if everything we did was about that long ago written document. It's a guide, and it has its benefits, but for me, it's not all about life today. It's a guide to keep you on a certain track toward a certain goal. But life continues to bring us new elements, things that were not even thought of or written, because we're ever evolving. So I believe I'm a good stewardess because of the work that I do. And I heard somebody say one day, which totally shocked me, that they were saved. And I said, well, what does that mean? That you're forgiven for your sins. So I was thinking, in my ignorance, it means that you were forgiven of the sins before you got saved. But then I was told, no, it forgives you for the sins you're going to commit even after you're saved. I'm like, yeah, okay, right. That felt like a marble to me. It just felt like a marble to me. Because the same person who told me that, she opted not to go to her sister's same-sex wedding because it was against the Bible. She's saved, though, right? So it was against the Bible, so she chose not to attend her sister's same-sex wedding. Instead, she chose to stay home and continue living and screwing the man she was living and screwing and not being married to. And again, that felt like kind of a marble to me, because you're living in that same type of environment and doing those same things, same-sex or heterosexual relationship, no matter what it is. You're fornicating every night. Well, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. But it was a little confusing to me. So I think it's for me, it is a guide book, and not left up to interpretation necessarily, but it's all about your life and your purpose and doing the thing that you're here to do. And it doesn't really fit into somebody else's frame because it's your life, your individual given life. That's how I feel. I don't know if that makes any sense today.
No comments?
Yeah, I will comment because I was looking at when I'm at what's supposed to be a job. I'm surfing the internet all day, and there's this pastor. His name is Geno Jennings. He's kind of one of them guys, my way or the highway, but I ain't going to lead you astray because all I'm talking about is Bible. Now, he would have agreed with that woman not going to the same-sex marriage. I know people that were invited to those, and I can't say that I would go to one because it's something that, people can do what they want to do. That's something I do not believe in, but I'm not going to judge the people that lead that particular lifestyle. Now, you say this same woman, theoretically, she living in sin every day, doing what a lot of us have done, sleeping with someone that we're not married to, fornication. And like I said, you can do your research, and because, like I said, we're not to be, like I say, interpretation. You don't do it under your own understanding. Just that was my kind of thing. My topic, just walk in faith. Walk by faith, not by sight. And like I say, one of my little snippets was just think of that Old Testament. A lot of people, they don't look back at that, but you had to have the old before you had the new. And like I said, 2 or 3 of the stories that stick in my mind. And if we all had the faith that Daniel had, or the faith that the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had, fiery furnace versus the lion's den. But when you're showing that you got that faith, you're not going to worship no other God but the one, then everything, going to work out for you. And you're always going to have different opinions. And I'm not one to sit down and say, "Are you wrong?" Because your opinion is your opinion. And I'm, if I can find something to say, well, that's controversial, or it should be this way, and this is what I've researched, blah, 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 then I'll have a debate or a intelligent discussion with you, not an argument. But yeah, the Bible it's a guide. And I was looking at the program, like I said, this one pastor, he was talking to a young brother, and the young brother believed in the Old Testament. He said the New Testament was written by your white slave owners. And boy, that got a rise out of the pastor, and they went on, but you don't really get enough. And I don't really know how old these programs are, because the dude that's doing all the preaching, he might be in jail. I don't know, but I know a lot of the clips are older. But he's been challenged by a lot of ministers. He's had gay ministers. Come on his program. He's debated with Muslims. Anybody who wants to challenge him, he welcomes them to come on his platform. But he's going to let you be known that he's in charge. But that's all I have to say about that.
Can I speak about homosexuality for a minute?
By all means.
Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
So there's a story in the Bible about Sodom and Gomorrah, which told me that all things are possible. And of course, we know in the story there was more destruction by the leader because of Sodom and Gomorrah, but something that man didn't create. According to the Bible, in sin and imperfection, we are supposed to all be imperfect. I beg to differ, but we are supposed to all be imperfect. And in that imperfection, one cannot determine someone's imperfection. So I always share with people who are, it's a difference in not understanding homosexuality and condoning the behavior. We can stay out of people's bedrooms, I say, because everybody does everything in the bedroom with the door closed anyway. But if a person can be born with both sex organs, I say anything short of that is possible under the banner of imperfection. And who are we to determine really how a person chooses to live? And when I say choose, it's because some hermaphrodites, the parents make the decisions when they're infants. They don't even know. But short of that, as you mentioned earlier, there are women who grow beards and men whose voices never crack. Does that mean that they're in bed with the same sex? Because that's the whole thing. People get confused with the sex thing. There are people who are, I'll say, gay, who are celibate by choice. They're not having sex. But if they were to describe their attraction would be to the same sex, though they aren't in bed frolicking in sex. But even if they were, I gave a talk back in 2011 on homosexuality, and when this gentleman heard it, who is gay, he told me I really shouldn't say the things that I say. I said, what did I say? Because I'm always open for constructive criticism. He said, you said that we choose to be gay. I said, no, that's not what I said. I said people who are gay, who are attracted to the same sex, they have to make a choice. Do I live the way I look, or do I live the way I feel? That's what I said. And that is the choice they have to make, especially with the agenda makers branding the LGBTQ WXYZ community, which shouldn't even be a case. That shouldn't be. But the branding comes for discrimination and violence. That's why they put it out there the way they do. But again, simply put, for me, if you could be born with both sex organs as a quote-unquote imperfection, anything short of that is possible. So, man is not to judge man, from what I understand. Oh, that was a rhyme, not on purpose, though. And I don't mean man, I mean mankind. Thank you.
That was a very interesting point that you brought up, saying, do I move like I look or do I move like I feel? Because I always said, I don't think a person is. I had a conversation with a bunch of old cats years ago. One of them still living. He's still kicking. And he said that people born with the gay gene. I said, I don't think there's no such a thing. Because I think after a certain amount of years, the person makes a choice. And it could be behavior, or it could be taught. And I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Born with the gene is an indication that the chromosomes are imbalanced. So just like a woman would have mustache again, men's voices never crack. And so that cracking is a part of puberty, but it's not going to happen in that certain kind of way. And I think we're all, just about many of us here, are old enough to remember tomboys and sissies. But when we were kids, we had tomboys and we had sissies. And they weren't choosing to go to bed and have sex with anyone. Again, people's minds stay in the bedroom. That's where if you not you, but people take their minds out of the bedrooms and acts that they feel are going on under or above the sheets, and look at the person and remember what we saw as little children with the tomboy and the sissy. They weren't making choices. They weren't sitting down deliberating, I'm going to be this and I'm going to be this and I'm going to, no. They were gravitating to what their natural order inside of them was leading them to happiness. The sissy boy would play with dolls, and the tomboy climbing trees and playing baseball. But of course, she was a female. For those of you who don't know, a tomboy was a young girl, who gravitated more toward male activities, and a sissy was a young boy who gravitated more toward, quote unquote, I guess, female activities. They weren't choosing anything. It was the natural order of who they were and how they were made up that made that happen. And then, of course, you have people parents probably, who would either observe them and support, or they would redirect them. Like, if you were left-handed, they would break your hand and make you, right with your right hand. Like, right-handed is the way it should be. So there's a couple of traditions and understandings and cultures that do many different things to the human body and the human soul at the same time. I think Beyonce's song is "You Can't Break My Soul," right? Yeah. Well, people try very hard to do that. Oh, I better listen to that song and see what it really means, because it just popped in my head and I really never listen to it. But yeah, we're not a herd, as they tried to make us a couple of years ago. We're not a herd made up all alike. We're all different and unique. And I personally adore that. And I find them to be the most independent, financially successful group on earth. Super talented, usually wealthy in their talent, very artistic. I like them personally. They're not criminals. But I'm just saying.
Well, with that being said, we grew up, where my mother was always, she didn't work much. She was always at the house, so there was always a couple other kids that migrated over there, and they'd eat lunch and do whatever. But we would play hard. Like if we were out of school, we play hard from like 9 o'clock to like 1:30, and that heat come out. Mama would call us in to take a bath, put on some clean clothes. You wouldn't go back and get dirty again. But we had one friend. He never had to change clothes because his mom, I guess my mom got the instruction, don't let him get out there with amongst your ruffians and do what they do. And he didn't. And we kind of looked at this guy side-eye. But, after he got middle school and before they moved to Houston, he turned out to be one of the, best ball players at our middle school. Still had that pretty curly hair. But and he never really was a feminine acting guy. His mother just kind of sheltered him away, kept him clean, kept him whatever. And there was this one guy, he would always come by. My mother would say, well, y'all can't stay clean like Tommy. Well, you let us go outside and play. We're going to get dirty. And we come in, we get clean, we look like Tommy. But Tommy was just a cool cat. He wasn't getting dirty. We play hide and seek. We play everything. He could do everything we did. He wasn't going to get dirty. And we just seemed like, me and my brother, we just attracted to dirt. We come in dirt. My one brother, he ate dirt. And the mother like, you been eating dirt? He's like, no. And then he got this big mud ring around his mouth. He's a preacher now, but he could lie. Great liar. And he ate Nestle's quick out the jar. You had them cans of Nestle's quick, strawberry and the chocolate. He would eat that. He'd dry macaroni, but he'd crawl up in that cabinet and get that Nestle, get him a spoon, eating that dry milk powder. Mama like, man, you been up in, why you been up in that milk again? And he'd look at him straight face. Nah, mouth just covered with the chocolate. But, that's kind of how we grew up, and we were kind of like the neighborhood park. We never had grass in the back. Daddy tried, but that was the football field, baseball diamond, and he put a basketball goal back there, and we had nothing but dust every day. We'd have to let the dust fly, clear out, before we come in and eat dinner. We had to close the back door. We kicked up dust every day after school till it got dark. And like you say, some of those guys that you growing up, we call them little sissies, but they ended up not. The mom just kept them sheltered and didn't want them out there doing things. And they were like single parent moms, very protective of their little boy, what have you. But it is what it is. But we've talked ourselves. 6 minutes left in the program. I would love to hear from some of our concerned citizens. Tonight, I know the basketball game is on. I got it on, too. It's halftime now. I just turned it on a few minutes ago. I'm about to go in here and boil me some water for some green tea so I can have a peaceful night with no coughing. Got a breathing treatment or two. But I've said all I have to say tonight. Brother Hamp?
Can I share
Yes,
something?
Yes, please.
So one of my clients today, she's had a cough for the last year, and I went to one of my favorite places, and I picked up the black seed for her and the glutathione and the NAC. They all work very well to help clear your lungs and your organs and detoxify you. So I just share that. Black seed, glutathione, and NAC.
I need to order some. Exactly. That's good for joints and everything.
Please do. Thank you.
I would like to say great show again tonight. Sorry I joined in late, but I'm always looking forward to CCC on Wednesday evenings. I just wanted to piggyback also for that cough and congestion. Mullein herb. Mullein. Probably get it at most health food stores. If you boil that as a tea, strain it, drink it, just like it is. All of that congestion, all that mucus, everything in your lungs, everything in your throat, nasal cavity, all of that will break up and come out. Help you to breathe deep and clear. You drink that for about 4 to 7 days, you won't have no more problems. In addition to what Miss Yvonne has also said, the black seed and the other things that she has also mentioned are very good. But that mullein herb, especially for congestion and respiratory issues, that stuff works wonders.
Well, outstanding.
Yeah, I might have to try some of that.
Yeah, I'm going to Google that as soon as we hang up.
I'm going to check Nick's wife's store because she has a lot of that stuff in there already.
Oh, okay. Is she in town? Or she?
No, she's in town.
Oh, the store's in the same, same location?
Yeah, down there on the south end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now that I know what I'm looking for, I'm going to go by there.
Oh,
just in case you need it, I think the spelling is MUELLEIN or LLEN, one of the two. Mullein. That's all I can say. Mullein. Very good stuff. Very good.
Good information.
Yeah.
Keep away from the milks and the cheeses.
I'm going to start leaving the dairy alone.
Yep. It causes me.
Well, folks, the clock on the wall said that's about all. I got 10 o'clock. And with that being said, do we have any other questions, concerns, or comments at this time?
Nothing here, sir.
All right. Well, I would also like to say, a very deep subject, Brother Gardner. Had people putting on their thinking caps for that one.
Right.
Have a great night, folks.
And with that being said, if there are no more questions, concerns, or comments, this will be the CCC signing off tonight. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.
Right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You well.